Hello, and how the devil are yous? I'm off up to the caravan today to get some more stuff and cart it back because we're getting rid of it soon. And on the way I thought I'd shoot a couple of videos, just one about how much space we can fit in this car, and another about enemies and why it's why enemies, you shouldn't fear enemies. Enemies are kind of a good thing. Enemies are the way the universe means things to be. So anyway, I thought I'd show you my little friend down here. Just take this one off there for a minute. If you got camera. She's down there. Oh, let's change gear. She's down there coming with us to the caravan, and that's how she sits all the way. Because she's on her lead and she wants to jump up on me knee and drive with us. But she can't drive with us, can she? So she has to go down there on her lead. Which is quite comfy. She's got that little bed down there and everything. So yeah, that's me driving to the caravan today. So when I get there, I'm going to make a video about how much room you can pack into this car, and I'll do another intro to that in a minute. But for now, I just want to talk about enemies. And you know, what do you think about this universe? The one thing that's dominant in this universe is competition. It's basically, the sun exists because of the competition between fusion and gravity, and most other forces in the universe exist because of that. There's got to be a balance between two forces, and the same goes in human society. And you know, when you talk about enemies, there's enemies in wars and everything, but there's also enemies in just in general peace. You shouldn't fear having an enemy. An enemy just tells you that you're actually doing something worthwhile. I mean, if you're doing something that isn't worthwhile, you wouldn't have any enemies because everyone would be happy with you. And all this mumbo jumbo about trying to make everything, you know, keep everyone happy is a load of bollocks, because that's just not how this universe works. You're living in a fantasy world. If everyone was happy, everything would be boring. And you know, if you got on with everyone, everything would be boring. So the universe will present you with people that you just won't get along with, and a lot of the time I give people like 2 chances most of the time. If there's just someone who I just don't get on with, like, you know, I will give them 2 chances, because especially I give most people 2 chances, but some people 3. The people I give 3 chances are like blood relatives and family. I'll give them an extra chance, just because, you know, the relations, the family. And most of the time I've not had to use that option at all with family, because I get on with everyone. You know, it's got to take a real arsehole to be an enemy of mine, basically. You've got to really, really hate me for some stupid reason, because, you know, I can make friends with anyone and get on with anyone. So that's why I've got the rule that if someone's really nasty to me, really horrible towards me, I'll be nice to them, and I'll try and repair that relationship, usually 2 times, until I basically will put them into the enemy department. And I won't be sad about that. This is the thing that people don't understand when you can accept enemies. You shouldn't be sad that you put someone into the enemy department. It's something to be joyous about. It's, you know, it's not as if you've went out your way to make an enemy, but when someone, you know, relegates themselves to your enemy department, it's like, you know, you've given them a chance to be peaceful and everything, but you kind of accepted the fact that that's how this universe is. You know, the good thing about enemies is they give you motivation to continue on. An enemy, as I said earlier on, an enemy is kind of your validation that you're doing something worthwhile, something that's making an impact. Because when you think about it, if you're not in a competitive universe, if you're not, you know, taking from something, or basically winning, annoying someone by the fact that you're winning, or getting something from them that they get jealous about or whatever, then you wouldn't have any enemies at all, and enemies. So rejoice in the fact that you've now put someone in the enemy department. Don't go out your way to put them there. Give them chances and such, but when you've done so much for them, or you've tried to repair the relationship a number of times. Let's say in my case, it's usually 2 times for people I'm not related to, 3 times for people I am. When that's happened, it's, you know, a lot of the time it's not your fault or their fault, it's just personality clashes or whatever. And you can't repair them sort of things because that's just the way the universe is. You're meant to not get along with everyone. So when you accept that someone is an enemy and you just put them in that department, you can carry on with your life and just say, right, I don't have to bother with them anymore. You know? In fact, you know, the main thing you want to do from that point forward is show them people that you can carry on without them, that you know, because what I've found is most people I've been enemies with, I've labelled as enemies, have been people who've rejoiced in kind of holding me back or making fun of me, or trying to make me, you know, frame me as something I'm not. I've gotten joy out of that, you know. And that usually stems down to jealousy in my eyes. It's usually like, God, this guy, everyone loves him or everyone likes him and blah blah blah. I'm going to try and paint him into this, you know. So that's usually a fault on their behalf. And I find once you've relegated those people as enemies, it's just like, now you can just show them that, you know, you don't need them anymore. You can live your life without them. And you know, usually I go through a period of depression when I'm dealing with someone who I'm going to eventually relegate as an enemy, because you know they've had some way that they've manipulated me, you know, and you know some little weapon they've had. It's been a case of I have to put up with it until I find a way to replace the thing they're using to manipulate me with. And you know, I've got some few enemies people I've relegated as enemies now, and I'm happy about it because I found replacements to the things that they were using as weapons against me. You know, I found other ways to have, you know, whatever it was that they had that I didn't have. I found another way to have them things in my life now. And when that happens, it's just like, fair enough. Your weapon is useless now. It no longer works. No, I don't care about the thing you were using as a weapon to hurt me. It just doesn't work anymore. Haha, no. Live the rest of your life and then relegate it to enemy slot on the shelf. Yeah, I'll just file you there. Goodbye, bye, gone. And you know, from that point forward, you just ignore them. Whenever you see them, you just ignore them. You pay them no attention. They're trying to talk to you. You've got no chance of getting involved in my life anymore, pal or palettes or whatever you are. Thank you very much. You have shown me that you're more trouble than you're worth. You know, whatever you had that you used to manipulate me, you've just shown me that it's just more trouble than it's worth. So yeah, rejoice. I rejoice in enemies. It just makes me, once I've gotten over the fact that I've tried my best to repair a relationship or something, and they've just not accepted it, or they've just continued being the arsehole that they were before, thinking that they could play me that way like forever. Yeah, I've just rejoiced in it, that I've got rid of them, and they don't have that hold on me anymore. Look at this arsehole, he just doesn't want me to get back in before the fucking thing, does he? You fucking arsehole. Anyway, so yeah, I'm so happy. I always have a sort of like an adrenaline rush once I've been through a period of someone who's been like an idiot or a total knob or a total whatever to us, and yeah, they just like, you know, thought that messing me around emotionally was a fun game to have. And there's always a point where I finally do relegate people to the enemy slot on the shelf in the filing cabinet, where it's just like, I'm free. I've now got my whole life ahead of me. And you know, another thing that happens when you file these people away is the universe will then try and fill the void that they've left. And a lot of the time it'll reward you by filling that void with better things, you know, with better people. And you know, I've filed some people away recently, and it's just so satisfying because the universe has rewarded me that way again. These things have come to me now, and it's just like happy days. It's just like you can sit back and relax, and you take a pleasure for the fact that someone's an enemy, and that you've got you basically, the universe is allowing you to show them that you don't need them anymore. And yeah, so yeah, my advice on enemies: don't fear having them, and when you do get them, don't live in regret. Know that you've given them a chance and whatnot, and that if they want to be that way with you, fair enough. From that point forward, just don't give them any more of your time of your life. Don't let them get involved in your life again. Don't even, I mean, my philosophy is, once you file someone in the enemy department, the only time you want to see them in your life again is when you can prove to them that you didn't need them anyway. Until then, you just like, you have no time for them. And the one thing you don't do is, if their circumstances change and they suddenly need you for something in the future, just don't be there for them. They've shown you that they've had no respect for you in the past. So when there does come a time that they may possibly need you in the future, you just aren't there for them. You just basically, nah, you shouldn't have treated me the way you treated me before, and now you're basically no longer part of my life. If you were a friend, you're no longer my friend. If you were family, I no longer see you as family. You're just a negative, bad influence person who I don't want around me anymore. And a lot of the time, I've always been able to tell these type of people, and I've always been able to be very, extra cautious around them, because they're all people who just don't get on with, or people who seem to fall out with everyone and everything. They've always got this persona about them. It's like a negativity around them, falseness. You always know when they're being, when they're being nice and smiling and that. Yeah, it's all false. You just get a sense that it's not real. And most of the people that I've fell out with, everyone I've talked to about them, they've said, yeah, we've said the same thing. Anyone who's on the same level as me, I would say, spiritually and that. Well, not spiritually, because I'm agnostic, but if you know what I mean, then what you can feel in that. All say that, yeah, I got that sort of like feeling from that person myself, and you're better off without them in your life. So, and then you rejoice in the fact that you've now moved on, and you're also not living in that deluded world where you got to get on with everyone. You don't think that you've got to be friends with everyone, because that's not the universe we live in. That goes back to what I was saying at the beginning. It's just not the universe we live in. The universe wants you to have conflict and wants you to have enemies. It wants competing forces against each other. So when you have an enemy, just know that that's you doing what the universe wants you to do, and move on. File them in the enemy cabinet. Don't have anything to do with them ever again, and then move on with people that you can move ahead with. Alright? Anyway, wally, my new little pal. We're off to the caravan, aren't we? Well, so thought I'd shoot some of this again, because it's lovely bright sunshine out here. Lovely evening. Oh no, the wind will probably get onto this. So I am giving the caravan to unload it a bit, but I thought, since she's come, I'll just take her for a walk. Maybe it's one of the last times along here while I'm up here. Used to love going on this walk with her when I was here earlier on this year. But yeah, so I'll just talking about enemies. And what we were talking about in the car was, you shouldn't really give them any more chances after you've given them so many chances. Because once someone, you know, like, categorises themselves as your enemy, then you've got to treat them as one. You've got to put them in that folder, and you're not to let them talk themselves into your life again in the future, because you'll only open yourself up to being hurt by them again, because they are an enemy. The universe has given you an enemy, and you're a fool if you don't treat them as such. If you get taken in by all the crap again, you're an idiot. So treat them as an enemy. Just use them as an example of someone you don't want to be like. Oh, we're inside some shade now. Maybe there's a bit of shade from the wind as well. So yeah, glasses. What are you doing? Going for a walks. So another thing you'll probably notice is once you've basically filed someone away as an enemy, and you don't regret it, and you're happy about it because you know it's really how the universe is built. Conflict is how the universe is built between forces, and when you've done that, and you feel happy about it, and you project that happiness to other people, you'll suddenly find there are lots and lots of people who've thought the same way about such a person. That's been my experience anyway, every time I've had to do this. And you found that just because of that very fact, that there's so many people who know that person for what they are, or them people for what they are, how they've acted in the past. In fact, I've often found that a lot of people have told me when I've had to do this that you should have done that a long time ago. And it's just been I suppose it's just been the soft spot of me. I'll always try and make things work, even when it seems futile to keep on attempting, where most people would have given up. Because, you know, I'm not really the person to give up easily. I will work at things if I think it's worthwhile. But there always comes a point where someone will not make themselves not worthwhile anymore. They'll kind of sack themselves out of your life. You've given them two or three written warnings. You've given them 3 chances, and they'll just end up sacking themselves out of your life. If you run your life like a business, there just comes a point when such people will become detrimental to that business, and you've just got to say, let them go. And, you know, don't invite them back. If they ever apply for a job interview with you again, or get involved in your life interview again, you just say, yeah, I don't think on your previous employment record at our facilities, or my life facilities, that you're worth getting involved in my life or having a job here again. And that's where you got to approach it. Let them be someone else's problem from then on. Because another thing I've noticed in my experience, that such people take the problems with them, and they pass them on to the next person they get involved with. And that's why I've often found that most of the people I've fell out with numerous people over the years. They seem to have a problem with people, and I've always seemed to have been like one of the ones that they've lasted the longest with, because, you know, I'll let them take the piss with us to a certain extent, just to see if I can get to the bottom of what their issue is. And because again, I'm a bit soft that way. I'll give people more chances than I should sometimes. And you'll get to a point, you know, where you just sit back and you hear the stories of how things are going wrong elsewhere. And I've often found that I've heard the stories of said people come back to me, and I've thought it's just great, because it makes you feel better again, because it always makes you know that deciding that person as an enemy was the best thing you do, because it was never you that was the problem, it was them. It was always them that had the problem, them that had the jealousy issues, them that had the attention seeking issues, them that wanted to make it all about them, you know, them that weren't giving you, you know, the respect you needed just for being nice to them. So yeah, that's what I've always found. I think later circumstances it's been proved again, isn't it? But look at this wonderful countryside. Some one thing I miss about the caravan. But you know, it's only 40, it's not even an hour's drive away. I can always come back here again. I can always remember where all the walks are. We don't need to be spending 2-3 grand a year on a derelict caravan, keeping it going. But no one else will come up and use it unless we're not there. And yeah, I'll still remember the area and I'll still come here. But I don't really think there's anything else I need to say on that. If anything else comes to mind, I'll say it. But I might just edit in a bit in the car where I say catch us next time now. Might just mix this video up a bit and make it a bit like Quentin Tarantino. You don't know where the beginning is and where the end is. The movie runs backwards sometimes. Yeah, this is like Quentin Tarantino style. So cue the end of video stuff. So I think that's all I want to say on this one. I know it's been another one of those blabby on vlogs, but until I get better stuff to make on that channel, then I'm going to have to fill it with this sort of thing. I was going to take an e-golf out again, but the dealer messed me around and cancelled one test drive and another. So I'm just getting sick of all that going way out my way to get a test drive and something. So from now on, it's going to be either I'm going to be hiring a car or borrowing one. I'll just wait until a 24-hour test drive event is on the TV, and I'll do it that way. Just go when everyone else is going for 24-hour test drives. So what we got here? Can't stop the camera because there's a slow car in front, a massive fast spike behind. It's going to fly back at the last when I don't look in the wing mirror. So yeah, remember to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you all soon. I'll release the video of the Dacia low-gain capacity after this one. So yeah, like and subscribe, and I'll catch you all later.